Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay.
Every Thursday night at 7 on Kcaa, NBC News Radio, AM 1050.
This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 55 years. Carpet Masters uses extraction cleaning for your carpet because there's no better cleaning to remove the soil from your carpet. All of our furniture cleaning is done by hand in your home or in our plant. Carpet Masters also offers dry cleaning for fine furniture. Call Carpet Masters at 793-7215. That's 793-7215 for Carpet Masters.
This is 1050 AM, Kcaa Loma Linda, and 106.5 FM, Yucaipa.
Good morning, I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio. FDR said there's nothing to fear but fear itself. On Wall Street, the biggest fear on this Friday the 13th is that the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates next month. That's why stocks will fall again today, although not quite as much as yesterday. JCPenney lost $137 million last quarter, but that was a lot better than expected. Sales were up 6%. Nordstrom sold less of everything in its stores and warned that Christmas is going to be not so green. That stock will be down more than 20% today. Reports this morning that General Motors may build its new Buick SUV in China, then sell it in this country. Time Warner reportedly in talks to buy into Hulu, the video service. Hulu is backed by a partnership of CNBC owner Comcast, Disney, and Fox. And 7-Eleven adding lockers to its stores where UPS and FedEx can drop off your packages. Then you can not only pick up a gift from Grandma, but a Slurpee and maybe a hot dog as well. I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio.
At TIAA-CREF, our record sounds like a broken record. We got impressive results in 2013. And 2014, same thing. We're like, hey, weren't we just here? Then 2015, boom, more impressive results. That's the kind of record you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Intelligent investing, powerful results. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA-CREF, Individual and Institutional Services, LLC. Investing involves risk.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
With your Friday news, I'm Jim Miller, CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind. Here's your news today. Funeral services took place yesterday for fallen San Bernardino police officer Bryce Haynes. Private services began at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Redlands, where Haynes' brother, Scott Haynes, gave a eulogy recalling his brother as a big protector and the gentle giant. The 39-year-old Bryce Haynes of Redlands killed on duty in a DUI-related traffic collision that took place November 5th in Ontario. Parents of a developmentally disabled Ontario man beaten to death by his cellmate at the West Valley Detention Center in Rancho Cucamonga have filed a wrongful death lawsuit against San Bernardino County and the captain of the jail. The lawsuit filed Wednesday on behalf of their 19-year-old son, Rashad Davis Jr., names as defendants the county and West Valley Commander Captain Jeff Rose. It alleges staff of the jail failed to protect Rashad Davis Jr. from repeated attacks by inmates and house him at a proper unit conducive to his medical needs. And San Bernardino County Human Resources Director Andrew Lamberto, who came under sharp scrutiny after it was revealed last month he was convicted for soliciting a prostitute, has resigned. The announcement it followed a closed session meeting of the Board of Supervisors yesterday. And that's your news. Have a great Friday. I'm Jim Miller for CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, we've got sunny skies, high near 75. Mostly clear tonight with a low of 47. Sunny and a high near 78 on Friday. Friday night, clear skies, a low near 50. Sunny and 77 on Saturday. Mostly clear Saturday night with a low near 49. Patchy fog in the morning, mostly sunny and a high near 68 on Sunday. Sunday night, a chance of showers, partly cloudy with a low near 50. Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 64. Monday night, mostly clear, low near 44. Tuesday, sunny and a high near 71. Tuesday night, mostly clear, low near 47. By Wednesday, we'll have sunny skies and a high near 75. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley Street and Auto Center Drive / Surface Club Drive. The 91 west is slow from McKinley to Surface Club. In Devore, an accident. The left lane is blocked on the 15 northbound after Glen Helen Parkway. And finally, in Temecula, slow traffic on the 15 southbound between Rancho California Front Street and Rainbow Valley Boulevard. This has been your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
As the owner of my business, I wear a lot of hats. I'm accounting, sales, and so much more. But I don't know marketing.
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. Our team can create a digital plan for you with everything from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about.
Whoa, that's a job for cleanup, which would be me.
Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda.
Trying hard not to fall. On the way home, you were trying to wear me down.
Good morning. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we're on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. So excited. It is a Friday fun day here on the show today.
Glorious Friday.
Friday fun day. We're going to be, first we'll be, in just a couple of minutes, we'll be talking to author extraordinaire Sue Grafton. I am so excited about this. She has written so many books. Well, one for every letter of the alphabet, and now we're at the letter X.
Ooh.
These are suspenseful, wonderful books. She is a #1 New York Times best-selling author. So very excited to have her on. Second half of the show, we'll be talking to Deborah O'Hara from AboutRedlands.com, and we always love that segment because she lets us know what we're going to do over the weekend.
That's right.
So got to say good morning to Brandon McCormick. He is our extraordinaire. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
You sound crisp and clear this morning. It is beautiful. Speaking of crisp, it's beautiful and crisp out there. And one thing I don't like about the Santa Ana winds, because it was pretty windy yesterday, especially if you live up around Cal State San Bernardino, or if you live
North Rialto,
or anywhere through where that wind goes blowing through the Cajon Pass. It makes it really dry, and my hair is like fly away static cling hair. And her skin is flaky, and
she won't even kiss me. She's afraid it'll be a shocking experience.
It will be a shocking experience. I'm not quite that bad, but it will be a shocking experience.
You just answered one of my questions. I was just like, why am I so dry?
Yeah, that would be why.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really, my skin itches more than anything. I put lotion on, it still itches. So, that's why it's so dry.
Yeah. My students and I were out running in it yesterday, and I love to run, but man, is it miserable when the wind is blowing so hard like that. And we got done, and I felt all dried out. I felt like I needed to take a bath in lotion.
Or baby oil.
Yeah, just fill the tub up with baby oil and just dive in.
Yeah, that won't be hard to clean off the tub. not at all.
No. But, I mean, my skin was just, I mean, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Just suck the moisture right out of your skin.
It really, really, really does. So before we get started, as I always do, I want to let everybody know all the ways you can listen to KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Of course, you can find us at both places on your radio dial, 1 FM, 1 AM. You can also listen to us and watch us on kcaaradio.com, where you'll find links to all of our social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. You'll find our embedded Ustream feed, so you can watch us. You'll find the number to call to listen if you want to prepare because you're not going to be near a phone or near a radio and you want to listen anyway. You can call 832-999-1050, 832-999-1050. If you miss a show and you want to catch it again, you can get free podcasts at kcaaradio.com. If you have an Apple device, you can go.
Just holding.
Have an Apple device. You can use the TuneIn app. If you have an Android device, you can go to kcaaexpress.com. So without any further delay, so excited to have one of the New York Times, New York Times best-selling author, Sue Grafton. She's, wow. Anybody who's seen her books, I'm holding her book up right now. This is letter X. She's gone through the alphabet with her suspenseful story. So, Sue, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I think you're 3 hours behind me, if I'm not mistaken. You're in Los Angeles, or that area?
Yes, we
California.
are. Yes, we are. This is an early morning drive time show. People are on the freeway heading into work.
Perfect.
So
keep them awake and alert here.
Oh, yes.
You're doing better than I am.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So tell us about your new book.
Well, X is number 24 in this series, and I'm dealing with 3 separate storylines that I weave together one by one. There was a 4th that I decided to take out. I thought I was getting too busy in this book. But I write about an art theft of a Turner painting, and I'm also writing about a very vicious killer who has been undetected these many years, and Kinsey gets wind of what's going down, and she begins to pursue this fellow. And I'm also writing about some people who have moved in next door to Kinsey and her landlord, Henry Pitts, and they're kind of reckless and nefarious types. So between the 3 stories, it's fun to pick up and see which is going where.
Now, you've been writing these books for a while, and they've been, I guess, I understand, 28 different languages your books have been translated into. So you truly are an international bestseller. Of all of the books, and obviously you're going to say X because you want people to buy the book, but beyond that, all of the books, which one has been your favorite?
Oh, it's like children, I like A is for Alibi because it sets the tone, and I always tell people, if you don't like that one, you won't like the rest. So try that. It's out in paperback, and you can give it to a friend if it doesn't suit your fancy. I like G is for Gumshoe because there's the first of a little romantic part of the story that you see now and again. I like L is for Lawless just because it's a cross-country romp, and it amuses me. So with S is for Silence, I finally broke out and started doing multiple points of view. So each book in the series has its own little nature, and I can go back and remember the struggle I went through for each. And just survival-wise, it's kind of a treat to realize I've lived this long, working as hard as I have.
Now, did you always know that you wanted to be an author?
I did not. I thought I was going to be a school teacher because they assured me if you wrote for a living, you would be a poor person, which I didn't think sounded like much fun.
That's only true if you're a teacher.
That's right.
My co-host and husband is a teacher.
Aha. Well, see, and I always thought it would be enormously satisfying to teach. Now, I sometimes teach writing courses, and I just find myself so impatient with people for not doing what they say they're going to do. They have the ambition, but they don't have the persistence. And so I think now I make quite a grouchy teacher. I have to watch myself in that regard.
So where do you teach when you teach?
I teach at various writers' conferences.
Okay.
As I said, I don't do it often these days because the work itself is so time-consuming. And teaching writing is a very delicate business, and I sometimes get too impatient. It's like, just shut up and do the job and take it a lot more seriously than you are. So I have to be careful that I'm not just crushing talent underfoot.
I think it'd be fascinating to hear you talk about the art, the craft of writing. What you've done is truly amazing to do a series of books literally going through every letter of the alphabet. It kind of boggles the mind that you've been able to do it and be so successful with it. It's just amazing.
Well, I amaze myself sometimes, tell you the truth. I go back and read some of the early books, and I went, how did I do that? Because I forget the process. I remember how scared I was, but I forget how I solved the various problems that any novel presents as you work your way through it.
Yeah.
So I go back and read them just to see what I did and try to figure out how I did it, which is not always an easy thing.
So tell us about how Kinsey. Oh, and I apologize, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Tell us about kind of Kinsey's birth. How did you first envision her, and how has she grown over all of the books?
Well, part of that, when I started writing this series, I honestly did not know anything about police procedure. I knew nothing of private eye procedure or California criminal law, toxicology, ballistics, you name it. I had to go study up. It's like taking a college course, real cram session. The only thing I felt I had any intimate knowledge of was being female. So I thought, shoot, I'm going to play the part myself. I'm already at such a disadvantage. So I made Kinsey female because I felt that was my one strong suit, which turns out perhaps not true. How do I know? But I didn't realize I was stepping into new territory. When I wrote A as for Alibi, Marcia Muller had published Edwin of the Iron Shoes, and Sarah Paretsky and I published the same year. So inadvertently, the three of us just stepped to the fore and took over a lot of turf that had been male-dominated. So it wasn't my intention, I was just trying to have a good time with a piece of fiction, and it turned out to be great fun for sure.
And you certainly hit lightning. You got lightning in a bottle. I mean, it has been great.
It goes back to that business of doing what you love. You have to believe that if you do what you love, life kind of takes care of itself. Which is not to say you don't have to work your butt off, but at least you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, work your butt off. That's the key thing. I try to get that across to my students, and it's like you said, that that's the part that's hardest to teach, right?
Right. Oh man, it is amazing.
Now,
I think so much of writing is not about talent; it is about character. Can you take the punishment you have to go through as a writer in order to make it? And I think many people don't understand how long it takes to learn to write well.
So, you speak about character for you as the author. Have there been it's been a crisis in character, and there probably is in every book for Kinsey. And was that process of writing her crises cathartic for you?
Well, yes, it is. For instance, in X, part of the story is her going back to examine her attitude toward the detective who, in fact, presents her with this evidence that he's been working on before his death. She has not thought highly of this man, and she's been fairly candid about her disinterest in him. And as she works, she realizes that he was once a fine detective, and that, in fact, what he saves for her helps her get to somebody who's a very bad fellow. So by the end of the book, she is realizing that she has misjudged him. And I think that's always good for any of us to look at our judgments about people and decide if, in fact, we're correct. It's cathartic to admit you're wrong.
Indeed. So We only have about a minute and a half left. Where can people find you on? Do you have a website? Are you on social media? Are you going to be doing any book signings?
Well, I'm going to be doing some 4 signings coming up. I go to Washington, D.C., Raleigh, North Carolina, Atlanta, and Nashville. So I'll be on the road next Tuesday for 4 days. You can find me on Facebook, and I check in almost every morning chatting with people about what their questions are, or what their concerns are. And I do have a website, which is SueGrafton.com. But I can never remember what my code name is. So it's hard for me to check in there because I was like, well, who am I? I call myself Cyber Mom.
Oh, that's cool.
Half the time I can't remember how to get to my own material. So Facebook is a little easier for me. It's a little simpler for those of us who are not really very adept at social media.
So one last question for you. Social media has really changed the world we live in. Has the interaction with your fans affected your writing in any way?
And not so much. I do enjoy being in touch. Writers work in such isolation. And it's nice to get on there and just see what people are thinking about and what's worrying them. As long as everybody's polite to me, I'm very polite to them in return. But I think in some ways social media has brought out some very bad aspects of our nature.
Yeah.
I try to keep my website friendly. We are nice people, and we're going to treat each other politely. So that's the only rule I worry about.
That is wonderful, and it's been such a treat. I know you have to go because you're back-to-back interviews today, and I thank you so much for joining us. And this book is fantastic. Everybody needs to get out there and get it. So Sue Grafton, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. So what a treat. Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We'll be right back.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
The Colton cement plant is closed and the rail yard is expanding. Find out what's happening next in the Colton City News. Get more local news, local features, and a great calendar section full of local events for your family. The Colton City News, in print and online at coltoncitynews.com.
In the mood for some great Chinese food? Well, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is where you need to be. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food not only has a delicious dinner menu, they also offer delicious lunch specials including their yummy fried rice and chow mein. But get this, it also includes any 2 items just for $5.85. Or you can get any 1 item for only $4.85. You should also try their Big Bowl special for just $4.10. The service is fast and friendly. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is located at 256 Carousel Mall in San Bernardino, California. To contact Mr. Yu's Chinese Food, call 909-383-0195. Again, that's 909-383-0195. And yes, the Carousel Mall is still open.
That's right! What is San Bernardino going to do with the Carousel Mall? Keep track of the mall development and more local news in the San Bernardino City News. Local sports, education, business, and entertainment news in print and online at sanbernardinocitynews.com.
Here's your Money Minute with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
If you follow the markets, you've probably been getting seasick lately. But what if I told you that market volatility can be a good thing? If you're a bargain hunter, this is your coupon. So keep your shopping list handy. If you're a long-term investor with plenty of time before retirement, the money going into your 401k each month will buy more shares when the markets are down. And if you have a good financial plan, you can relax while others worry, because that plan will carry you beyond today's headlines. Of course, you should always consider professional guidance before making any financial decisions. That's your Money Minute. I'm Mo Ansari.
For more tips on investing during market volatility and other investment topics, listen to Market Wrap weekdays at 5 p.m. on this station. For a free consultation with Mo Ansari, call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Love that interview. Still thinking about it. And, we were saying, off the air that it's so wonderful to read a good novel, especially a good series. We get to know the characters and you feel like, that they're your friends.
Yeah, and I'm amazed. Again, she's going through the whole alphabet. She's already at the letter X. What's she going to do when she gets to the end of the alphabet? I mean, is she going to start counting numbers? She's just amazing.
She is amazing.
I'm blown away with the scope of the work that she has created and the quality of it. It's just amazing.
Well, and some of my favorite authors, Sue Grafton included, I love Diana Gabaldon and what she's been able to create with her Outlander series. And of course, it's a movie now, but the book is so much richer. I mean, Diana Gabaldon is able to she paints the picture so well you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
Sue Grafton does that. Some other authors like I love Janet Ivanovich with her silly
fun and
Stephanie
funny.
Plum novels. They're just fun and engaging, and you get lost. It's a way of really disappearing into another world for a little while.
Yes, it is.
Of course, we have a library at our house. We turned our living room into a library, and I'm not even kidding. People come over, and we have a roster, and they check out books.
It's true. In fact, we force them to.
No, we don't.
We do. We threaten them with books.
So, speaking of books and school and all of those other things, there's been this controversy when what's happened at Yale, what's happened at University of Missouri, at Claremont McKenna College. This idea of microaggressions, bias, creating an inclusive environment. Tobin, can you talk about that a little?
Yeah, some are calling it the new face of racism, not the blatant acts of bias that recently led to the University of Missouri's campus unrest and the resignation of their president and chancellor, but instead it's a phenomenon known as microaggressions, everyday slights and snubs, sometimes unintentional, and it's drawing widespread attention across college campuses and kicking up a debate about social justice and free speech rights. Students are sharing their experiences with microaggressions on websites and Facebook pages at Harvard, Oberlin, Brown, Dartmouth, Swarthmore, Columbia, Willamette, and other universities. And in the last 8 years, researchers have conducted more than 5,500 studies on topics documenting how much seemingly minor slights harm student performance, mental health, and work productivity, said Daryl Wing Sue, a Columbia University psychology professor and a leading expert on the topic. University of California President Janet Napolitano invited faculty members last year to take training in recognizing microaggression and the messages that they send. One handout adapted from Sue's research offered examples. Telling people of color they speak English will send a message that they are perpetual foreigners in their own land, or asserting that America is a melting pot denies the significance of a person's racial or ethnic experiences. Some critics, however, say they worry that the microaggression movement chills free speech, increases conflict, and perpetuates an aggrieved sense of victimhood. Bradley Campbell, an associate professor of sociology at Cal State Los Angeles, said the movement is transforming society from a dignity culture in which people are taught to have thick skins and refuse to allow others to affect their sense of self-worth to a victimhood culture that advertises personal oppression.
Such shifts, he argued, could increase mental health problems and First Amendment conflicts, such as campus speech codes and the recent attempt by the University of Missouri students to bar journalists from entering a public area they deemed their quote-unquote safe space, which is ridiculous.
Right.
So, there's what it also does, and I think this is the more insidious side, is that if every little thing is called racism, then racism ceases to have meaning. And things that are big that people are doing, if everything is called racism, you no longer hear it.
Yeah.
And so your ability to address it when it really shows up, it'll disappear. I think it hurts everyone.
Yeah, the challenge is that people can be generally rude, and I can think of examples of things that have happened in my life where you're walking down the hall of a school campus and someone's kind of got their head in a book or they're doing something and they don't say hi to you.
Right.
Some people take that as a personal affront, as if this person was snubbing them on purpose, and then they internalize that in a very negative way. Other people just recognize it for what it is and just keep on walking, no big deal.
I think, unfortunately, we have lost perspective. We've gone off the rails. There's been this kind of power dialogue in victimhood, right? So I'm a victim. I'm going to stand up and demand that you apologize or demand that you take care of my needs. Well, unfortunately, what it's done is it's hampered our ability to be happy, and I think that is the worst thing about it. Now we're at 6:29. We'll go ahead and go to a break, and we'll continue this conversation after the break because I think it's important. We're becoming a nation of whiners, and I don't like that. So it's 6:29. I'm Erin Brinker,
and I'm Tobin Brinker,
and we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5, and we'll be right back.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda.
California headline news: lack of affordable housing in Silicon Valley reaching a critical level. Federal, state, and local leaders meeting in San Jose to try to find some solutions as protesters make their frustrations known.
What's going on now is rents are increasing so rapidly that working people can no longer afford to live here.
Protesters in San Jose saying rent and housing prices are so high, many workers have had to move into the Central Valley to find affordable places to live. Many workers having to travel hours to and from work each day. Weather forecasters say it hasn't lived up to hopes and expectations yet, but El Nino is here.
Some days it will be a big influence, other days it will be less of an influence, and we won't be able to say, okay, well, that day was because of El Nino. It's more of a cumulative effect.
Meteorologist Jan Knowles says El Nino is likely to be responsible for a colder air mass that's hovered over the state, resulting in cooler temperatures, especially at night. Geico weather, mostly seasonal temperatures today and dry conditions. Jeff Scott, California News.
Any Joe Schmo knows Geico will work to save you money on car insurance. But since money talks, why not just ask the savings?
That's me, Joe Savings. I'm not literally $1 million, but I feel like it. Why? Because when Joe switched his car insurance at Geico.com, his monthly rate went down and the savings went up. Now he uses the handy Geico mobile app anytime to check out his policy perks. Talk about a win-win. And 2 thumbs up. Man, I wish I had thumbs.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
What's that sound you're hearing, California? That's the sound of someone who's resting easy, dreaming of kittens, befriending piglets, because they've just saved on their car insurance by switching to Geico. Yup, California. That's the sound of savings.
Savings. For a free rate quote, visit geico.com and see how much you could save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Rod Tanner. Wrapping up the week, we'll have a sunny day, our high 78. Overnight, it'll be clear with a low of around 50. Saturday should be sunny, our high 78. Saturday night, it'll be clear with a low of 49. We'll have a mostly sunny Sunday, our high 67. There's a chance of a shower Sunday night, it'll be mostly cloudy, a low of 48. There's a slight chance of rain Monday morning. We'll have a mostly sunny day to kick off the week with a high of 63. Tuesday should be sunny with a high near 70. Again, for today, we'll have sunny skies and a high of 78. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind. NBC News Radio, AM 1050 KCAA.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley Street and Green River Road. The 71 south is busy between Pine Avenue and the 91. In Norco, we have slow traffic on the 15 northbound between 6th Street and Highway 60. Temecula, slow traffic on the 15 southbound between the California 79 at Winchester Road and 79 South Temecula Parkway. And finally, in Moreno Valley, slow traffic on the 215 northbound between Alessandro Boulevard and University Avenue. The 60 West is busy between Heacock Street and the 215. Love this Friday light. Be careful out there, everyone. This has been your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
Hi, this is Steve Aladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. This may be the perfect time to move forward with a new purchase. The feds have not yet increased short-term rates. When they do, we expect both rates and property values to increase. Today, you have an opportunity to qualify for a lower payment and more home than potentially even just a few months down the road. If you have VA eligibility, we can do up to 100% financing. We have loans with as little as 3.5% down, less than 20% down without mortgage insurance. Turned down because you can't qualify with your tax returns? We have special programs that we can use your assets to qualify you, and we have just come out with a bank statement program. If you can't qualify with your tax returns but can show income through your bank statements, we might have a loan program just for you. There are many possible options that can make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner. Give me a call, Steve Valador, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We now have, first of all, we'll be continuing our conversation, the microaggression conversation at the end of the show, and then through next week, too, because it's a big topic. But right now, we are joined by Deborah O'Hara from AboutRedlands.com. We love this Friday segment because we get to figure out what we're going to do this weekend. Welcome, Deborah.
Welcome. Yay. I like Tobin's enthusiasm.
I'm excited. I love having you on.
I know. It's always fun.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. That's more than I can muster up at this hour. God bless you guys. We have so much going on. This is that time of year, holiday season, where I just look forward to it, but there's all kinds of fun things. I don't know if either of you, Tobin, probably not you, but Erin, you remember Cracker Jacks downtown.
Oh, yes. That's where people got all of their scrapbooking stuff.
Right, and stamps. I remember when my kids were little, their highlight was to go in and pick out, stamps and whatnot. Well, they moved from downtown across Redlands, changed the name, went more into scrapbooking, and then they came back to downtown Redlands, went back to Cracker Jacks, and they still have scrapbooking, but it's more the gifts like the original store, like those out there that remember Cracker Jacks, and it's owned by a fabulous new family in Redlands, longtime Redlands family, wonderful people. And so today, the 13th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. is their open house.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so they have all kinds of opportunity drawings, refreshments, and they're located right there, 8 East State Street. So it's right there next to Denham, Nectar, Ozell's, right there on that first block.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so that's a must-do. And then the annual, this is something that people come from all over to attend, Precious Times Antiques Holiday Open House. Every year, this time, November, it's Saturday the 14th from 11 to 3. They have all kinds of little munchies. They have a live bluegrass band.
Ooh.
So you may really enjoy that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So basically everything on the store in that whole place is on sale. So it's an antique place, 25,000 square feet.
Oh, my gosh. And it's on Redlands Boulevard, isn't it?
It is, 1740 West Redlands Boulevard, right across from Lowe's on that side of town. So they have, a lot of people also don't know, they have gifts, they have Redlands-related things, of course, estate-type, items as well, and then an entire garden section.
Ooh.
Yeah, that people don't know about. So that's really a must. Precious Times Antiques Holiday Open House, Saturday the 14th, starts at 11. Let's see. Also on the 14th, this is actually a new thing. It's the 6th annual Holiday Toy Store Day. Yeah, so it's going local goes way beyond fruits and veggies these days. And Jack's Toys is located on State Street, and they're going to be joined by hundreds of locally owned stores across the country celebrating this National Neighborhood Toy Store Day. It starts at 10, and so they're going to be having free. Let me just, I'm not going to emphasize free anymore, but toy demonstrations, craft projects, toy giveaways, free snack, healthy snacks. So that's really a fun thing to do this Saturday. It goes from 10 in the morning until 6 in the afternoon.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, and I think people kind of forget too that your local toy store, they're really the experts in toys. I'm not saying that chains aren't, but you can actually get, in most cases, the owner who has, all the information about, how toys work, this type of thing. And Jack's Toys, for those of you that remember the Discovery store in Redlands.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they closed. So now Jack's Toys is kind of a combination of those educational toys, organic, eco-friendly toys, learning, books, and then all kinds of other things. Lots of science-related toys, projects. So it's a really fun outing to go with the kids just in general. They're open every day.
So I'm thinking these are the kinds of toys that people want to have in their cubicle. I mean, these are toys for adults too.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, when I go in there, I'm going to admit it, I don't even have small children anymore. And I'm not even embarrassed to say it. It's fun. Yeah, and in fact, most of them, and my daughter's 24, and the coloring books and whatnot, she's all over it, so it's not just what we're thinking, little kids.
No, these are fun. Everybody should go, know, and again, if we can buy local this holiday season, it will make such an impact on our community.
It really will, and in fact, almost all of that money goes back into our community, and people don't realize that, again, a corporate is important, but the majority of corporate monies, even if you purchase something in Redlands, it goes to their home store, wherever that is, and it's typically not in the city that you're buying in. So it's a very small percentage of that money actually stays in your community. So buying local means more than just, supporting the mom and pop, which is important, but those monies go to create programs, your roads, your schools, things that really impact you.
Well, and their the owner's children, let's, have the hypothetical. The owner's children will take ballet lessons and other dance classes in the community. They'll, they go grocery shopping in the community, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. And I try to do that as much as I possibly can. And plus, it's kind of fun because you get to know these people on a personal level.
Exactly.
They can tailor some of the things that you like. It will kind of let you know when they come in, and that type of a thing. So it's just a great experience all the way around. So that is a must. Cracker Jacks, Precious Times, and then Jack's Toys this weekend. Those are all local places, all doing fun, free, activities. And if anyone missed that, you can go to the About Redlands event calendar. So everything I'm talking about is listed there with a lot more information and addresses and maps and things like that. So you don't have to remember this early in the morning. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I know. From local stores to local talent. Lifehouse Theater is having some stuff going on.
Yeah, and in fact, Redlands is really blessed with a lot of musical talent. I mean, not only do we have the University of Redlands here, which their music department is world-renowned, we have, Cal State San Bernardino, their music department is unbelievable. Their jazz department, I have used so many of their students, in different for events and whatnot. So we not only in just music, but live theater. So this year, every year, the Lifehouse Theater starts their holiday production. So Miracle on 34th Street starts on November 21st, runs all the way to December 20th. So that information, when you go to the event calendar, look for the page that says Redlands Social Scene, and it says music, theater, comedy, ... All music-related, theater-related items are listed on that one page. It is the only place in Redlands that you can go to see anything music-related. So make sure just to look. A lot of people get confused and are looking for Miracle on 34th Street listed on the event calendar, so they miss the fact that it's just all on that one music page. So that's
gotcha.
Yeah, and the University of Redlands, wow, they sent their list of production this holiday season. I'd say there's probably over 50.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Yeah, their music department, all of their recitals, their students, all of this stuff is open. The majority of it is free to the public. Now they are starting their production of Little Shop of Horrors today. It does run through the 21st. There is a fee for that. It is $12, but the majority of their music and whatnot is free to the public. We also have the Redlands Opera Theater starting Saturday with their production. We have the Redlands Community Orchestra also. Now that one is an interesting one. They only play, for instance, their performances are on November 15, March 16, and then May 22nd. So on the 15th, they're doing a new piece, Scenes from the Odyssey.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's at 3 o'clock. It's right there at the Redlands High School Clockwork Auditorium. So if you miss November 15, just know the next one is March 16th. Yeah.
So, and that's typical for a symphony. They'll do,
Correct,
one
yeah.
concert a season.
Exactly, yes. And we have, of course, the Redlands Symphony, their schedule is online as well. So basically every venue in Redlands, the district, Escape Brewery, Hangar 24, all of, even Chez Sabine, which is the Chez Sabine, if I'm even saying that correctly.
You're saying it correctly, and it is so good.
Oh, the French restaurant?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Well, they have dinner Friday and Saturday nights now with music.
Do they
And
really?
Yeah, and it's usually some really beautiful acoustic guitar. It's just beautiful. If anyone, and they have the small plates, so you can go and taste several different types of things. So that's really a must. But all of those venues in Redlands, businesses, theaters, they're all listed on that one page, that social scene page in Redlands. So check that out. Let's see. Oh, and if you're not into music, which some people are not, we have history tours. Have either of you guys been on those tours?
We have not done that yet, but we keep talking about it, so we need to just put it on the calendar and do it.
Talking about it, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, on the 14th, so this is your first chance. So Tom Hatchley, who is from the Redlands Area Historical Society, what he does is he presents stories behind several areas in Redlands. So the first one on November 4th, it covers the blocks between Cajon and Center. So just meet him at the corner of Highland and Cajon at 9 a.m. It is $10, so just hand him your $10. He doesn't carry a Visa or credit card machine with him. It's just a very much more informal. But he will walk you around and tell you all kinds of wonderful stories. And if you miss the one on the 14th, the second one is on the 21st.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and it begins at Highland and Center, and then he's going to walk you all the way down Cedar. So that's, and again, all that information is on the calendar, so no one needs to remember that. Do I have time to go on?
Yes, you do. We're gonna since we're getting to the end of the list, we'll keep you through. We'll just run our break late.
Okay. All right. Well, this one right here, the Burridge Mansion is a private mansion, so it is not open to the public. But with the special permission of the Rochford Foundation, on the 14th, which is Saturday, there is a one-of-a-kind guided tour of this beautiful home.
It is a beautiful home.
It's exquisite. Now, there is a fee for it because it's a fundraiser. So you can go to the event calendar and get tickets. They are $50. It's so worth it because it really is going toward parties that the Mansion Memories host that provides children in crisis and their families with a magical day at the Burridge Mansion. So it really is a wonderful cause, and you get to go and view the grounds, hear the stories. They have historical artifacts. There's little taste from local chefs, local beer. They have gift baskets. They have silent auctions. So it's really a very fun event. That all of the information, the times, and how to get all the tickets and whatnot are on the About Redlands calendar.
It is a beautifully restored property. If you've not seen it, it's worth every penny. Go up there
Right.
and check it out.
It really is. Casa of San Bernardino, they host their annual Christmas event there for the children, the foster children in San Bernardino County. So I've had the pleasure of being up there many times, and it's just beautiful. Tim Rochford has done an incredible job of restoring that mansion.
So we just have a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
So what else is going on?
Well, now, Tobin, this is your chance to get your hands dirty.
Yes.
Okay. So on the 21st, basically, they need a lot of volunteers to help beautify the Orange Blossom Trail. Basically, they need volunteers to help plant landscaping, and that type of thing. When it's completed, this trail will run from the Santa Ana River Trail on the north side of Redlands through the downtown and back over the river. It's kind of hard to visualize that, but the 8-mile trail, it connects with the Santa Ana River Trail, which takes you all the way to the beach.
Tobin runs that trail all the time.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
if they're
gosh.
doing a new segment, I would love to be a part of that. Sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah, and the City of Redlands is providing breakfast for all the volunteers, so there's different sign-ups. Go to the About Redlands calendar. Just look for the Get Your Hands Dirty on November 21st, and they have 4 stations. So you sign in for which station, and it's just different areas that you want to volunteer in. So they really need a lot of help for those that, like doing that kind of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Lastly, another holiday boutique over there at the the Mission Gables Bowl House, hand-painted craft items, historical, type. You can go through another historical home there at Redlands at the Redlands Bowl, 9 o'clock until 3.
Wonderful. Wow. Yeah. So much going on as always. And where can people get all of this information?
We always just say, remember 2 words, aboutredlands.com.
Wonderful. Deborah O'Hara, it's always a treat to have you on, and we now know what we're going to be doing for the next couple weeks.
That's right.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to ask you the next time, so I'm going to put you on the spot. What'd you do? Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All righty. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. So we're going to take a quick break. It's 6:49. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We'll be right back.
This is KCAA.
Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company has been serving the greater Inland Empire for over 60 years. For all of your printing needs, from full-color printing to high-speed copying and everything in between, go to Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company. Their staff is committed to your total satisfaction. Great service isn't just lip service at Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company. It's the way they do business year after year. Having trouble finding drafting supplies? Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company still carries a complete selection. Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company is rated high in customer satisfaction by Value Star, an independent rating company. For all of your personal or business printing, call Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company at 909-792-3478. That's 792-3478, or visit them on New York Street in Redlands off the I-10 and the Crosstown Freeway.
The Diocese of San Bernardino wants to invite you to the 14th Annual Bishop's Golf Classic, Thursday, December 3rd at PGA West in beautiful La Quinta, California. All proceeds from the tournament, dinner, and auction will benefit Catholic school education in the San Bernardino Diocese. For more information, call your local Catholic school or the San Bernardino Diocesan office at 909-475-5437. Moreno Valley schools have more vocational education programs for students. Find out more in the Moreno Valley City News. You can also find local business, sports, and entertainment news. The Moreno Valley News in print and online at MorenoValleyCityNews.com. For those of you traveling by air to celebrate this holiday season, LA Ontario International Airport wants you and your family to have a fun and safe trip. For your convenience,
remember, TSA travel rules are for your safety and those of others. LA Ontario International Airport reminds you to arrive early and check with your airlines for flight delays or cancellations.
ONT offers 62 daily flights to 15 nonstop western cities. This year, Santa brings your airport the Pause Pet Assisting with Smiles stress relief program. So, make sure to stop and pause a while. Then sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. For more airport information, please visit us at lawa.org.
E-Digits. Lock them in for more information, recreation, and guaranteed fun. KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. So back to our discussion about microaggressions. You know, the thing about it that is troubling to me is that well, anybody who's read Corrie ten Boom, who's read Elie Wiesel, who's read so many of the people who have gone through horrible things and have written books. And oh my gosh, I've just forgotten the name of the guy who was in the Gulag up in Russia.
Solzhenitsyn.
Solzhenitsyn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Alexander Solzhenitsyn.
There's something to be said for developing the sense of resiliency, your ability to bounce back. Now, it's not that it's okay for people to be rude to others, but sometimes people are just rude. Sometimes people are just thoughtless, and sometimes if they're not used to somebody from your culture or somebody who's from where the city that you're from, they may ask questions that you think are stupid, but really they're just kind of curious.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes people are just wrong. They're not evil.
Well, and here's the thing, when you put up this wall that says that all microaggressions have to be confronted and punished and dealt with, it breaks down human interaction and the ability to learn how to connect. You and I have been married for 21 years, 22 years.
22.
Yeah, 22 years.
22.
Yeah. And 22. My gosh, it just time flies by. But here's the thing: when we were first dating, and even in the first few years of our marriage, we did and said things to each other that were sometimes offensive.
Yeah, you called me obtuse.
Yeah, and
not that I'm holding on to things.
No, that was only 25 years ago. I think our first week of dating, but the thing is you learn how to communicate with people, and if you care about people, then you're willing to sort of work your way through the small little slights and bumps and bruises that when you say something that comes across as awkward or offensive.
Here's the thing, too. It assumes the microaggressor, for lack of a better word, understands you well enough to understand how you're going to take even the smallest types of communication. So we all bring our biases to everything that we do. And something that Brandon does, I'll pick on Brandon this time, something that Brandon does, maybe he'll make a face or something might trigger something with me. And I then think that he's mad at me or he's being rude to me. And he's just thinking my nose itched.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So we are from our point of view projecting on somebody else an intent that may or may not be there.
Yeah.
And that's, first of all, it's exhausting. It creates an environment where literally everyone is walking on eggshells.
Yeah, and what's interesting to me is that, of course, this whole discussion and where this is taking place is on a college campus with young people who are beginning to know themselves and exploring and dealing with life. And the way that they're handling this just seems so antithetical to what college is about. College is about, being open to new ideas and new things, and instead they seem to be wanting to shut it down.
Yes.
And anything that offends them, anything that doesn't sort of fit with what they think it should be.
Now, again, I feel like I want to clarify that we're not talking about actual racism. We're not talking about people who are yelling out epithets, people who are we're not talking about that. We're talking about normal human interaction.
Yeah.
I think that we have done a major disservice to this generation, the millennials and the kids coming up behind them, though they have the expectation that they're going to go through life being victim free. I hate the word victim. That everybody's going to like them and everything's hunky dory. Yeah, and that we're always equal. Well, life isn't fair. It's inherently unfair.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean that you should be discriminated against? No, it doesn't. But what it does mean is not everybody's going to like you, and who cares?
Yeah, and not everything's just going to be handed to you or given to you the way you like. I actually saw a meme online this morning that I think kind of fits. Apparently there's this million student marchers that are trying to march to get college for free.
Oh,
right?
yeah, okay.
And there's a photo of a U.S. Marine that he posted, and he has a little tweet that goes with it. He says, "I wanted money for school, so I marched too." And it's a picture of him, and it says, "This one was about a 25-mile march, U.S. Marine Corps."
Wow. God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so he's saying, hey, look, you want college, go out and work for it and earn it.
Right.
And he's putting his life on the line, defending his country and earning college as a result.
Yes. And it's... God, that's really hitting me. That is really good. The tenacity, the drive, perseverance, is similar to tenacity, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
We've lost that in our culture. Life is hard.
Yeah.
And how we choose to deal with that life, to make the best of that life, makes all the difference in the world.
I said this to you earlier this morning, and I look at the millennial generation, and I see them as a split generation. This is the generation that was born during 9/11, and many of them were at that age to join the military right after September 11th occurred, and rushed off to do that. And then we have this other group that has gone off to college and is doing this microaggression stuff.
Right.
And I think there's a real disconnect within the generation. It's going to be very interesting to watch as they grow to see if they're able to sort of come back together as a group, because I see two very different
I agree.
pathologies.
So we will continue this conversation because it's really interesting and right in the forefront of what the dialogue is in this nation. But we're completely out of time. 6:59. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We've got Brandon McCormick in the booth. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Have a great weekend, everybody.
There's many things I wish I didn't do.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Producer prices fell in October for a second straight month, indicating inflation is tame, and that could provide the Federal Reserve an argument against raising interest rates next month. Retail sales rose in October, but just barely. The big surprise, a decline in auto purchases. Sales at auto dealerships fell 0.5% last month after rising nearly 1.5% in September. Other retailers are having a tougher time lately. Nordstrom joins Walmart and Macy's on the list, warning of a spending slowdown. The upscale department store reporting earnings and comparable sales both sharply below analysts' forecasts. Meantime, JCPenney posting a loss but still able to beat estimates. And still to come this morning, we'll get a look at how Americans are feeling about their finances with a reading on November consumer sentiment. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
At TIAA CREF, our record sounds like a broken record. We got impressive results in 2013. And 2014, same thing. We're like, hey, weren't we just here? Then 2015, boom, more impressive results. That's the kind of record you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Intelligent investing, powerful results. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA CREF, Individual and Institutional Services, LLC. Investing involves risk.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley Street and Green River Road. East is slow and go from Adams Street to 14th Street. The 71 south is busy between Pine Avenue and the 91. In Moreno Valley, stop-and-go traffic on the 215 northbound between Alessandro Boulevard and University Avenue. The 60 west is busy between Heacock Street and the 215. In Corona, slow traffic on the 15 northbound between Hidden Valley Parkway and Harupa Street. South is slow in pockets between the 210 and the 60. In the Cajon Pass, there's an object on the roadway on the 15 southbound before Highway 138. Wood debris and insulation is reportedly in lanes. And finally, in Devore, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked at on the 15 southbound after Glen Helen Parkway. Slow traffic from the 15. This has been in the left lane, but is now along the right shoulder. This has been your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
This report has been brought to you by Unbound. At Unbound, they don't see poverty. They see potential. That's just one way. Unbound is different. Learn more at unbound.org.
With your Friday news, I'm Jim Miller, CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind. Two men suspected of robbing a man at a Victorville gas station arrested by San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office officials yesterday after crashing their getaway car. 24-year-old Christopher Kraft and 22-year-old Jesus Regalado were arrested on suspicion of armed robbery and booked into the High Desert Detention Center. After taking the money, the two suspects fled the scene, but they crashed into another car in the area of Bear Valley Road and Monte Vista Street. Riverside County firefighters quickly contained a vegetation blaze in a rural area of Paris. Fire described as several spots reported at about 2:40 in the afternoon in the area of Arrowhead Circle. The area is rural. It's marked by a large plot of vacant land and several spread out homes. Resources had contained the blaze just before 3 in the afternoon, and most of the resources already left by about 4:20. It's under investigation. Secretary of State Alex Padilla is advocating for a piece of legislation that he said would give California residents more options in when, where, and how they can vote. Under the legislation, California counties would mail every voter a ballot, expand early voting, and let voters cast their ballots at any vote center within their county. The legislation would allow voters to mail in their ballots or drop them off at vote centers or at a secure 24-hour drop-off boxes. Vote centers would be required to be open a minimum of 8 hours per day for 10 days before Election Day. And that's what's happening. Have a great Friday. I'm Jim Miller, CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
This is KCAA.
Last 18 years, he is a regular contributor to the Fox Business Channel and Bloomberg Radio. In addition to this, he is a regular contributor to TheStreet.com and MarketWatch.com. Now he's live here on the Wall Street Business Network. Here is Bill Gunderson.
And welcome to the Best Stocks Now radio hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson. Bill is out today. This is Rob Sanford filling in for Bill. Bill is the president of Gunderson Capital Management here in San Diego, California, and we're coming to you coast to coast from Boston to Beverly Hills and from Seattle all the way down to Miami, even out there in Hawaii. Glad to have you with us on this Friday the 13th. In most markets where this show airs, sometimes it flips over and goes into Monday, but today where we're broadcasting, it's Friday the 13th as we look at the luck of the market. It seems like the doggone market is just wanting to stay stinky and a little bit cranky here on this Friday morning as it finishes up really 6 weeks of gains, and now it tends to have a little bit of a cold here as November starts to bluster a little bit offshore. Looks like the Dow is down, it's at 17,323. NASDAQ's at 49.62, down a little bit, almost a full percent. S&P 500 at 2033. And crude oil is doggone. It's down at $40.83 as of this morning. $40.83. That means that gas is going to be below about $1.75 a gallon in most markets across the United States. Of course, it's $1 a gallon more expensive here in San Diego. And gold is hovering around that 1081, 1082 mark, somewhere in that range. So welcome to the Best Stocks Now radio hour. This is Rob Sanford filling in for Bill Gunderson here on this Friday the 13th. in the market. Bill is sequestered. He's in the secret bunker, as Mark Levin likes to say. He's in the secret bunker. He is our leader here at Gunderson Capital Management, and he is sequestered in a quiet hole somewhere. In fact, I can see the block from the window of this studio office here. I can see the block where he's working on the newsletter for the Best Stocks Now newsletter that will come to the inboxes of all the faithful followers across the world. We have thousands and thousands of folks who subscribe to the Best Stocks Now newsletter, in which Bill pours out his heart and soul, kind of gets all of the cobwebs out of his noodle and puts them down on paper, and gives folks the opportunity to not only get a recap on what's been happening in the market the previous week, but also kind of get his insight and wisdom and knowledge and prophecy as to what might be coming ahead in the week or two or three or several months to come. And I know he's been on a rant lately about time in the market. He's been pounding that lately because really, if you think about it, that's the key to successful investing, in Bill's opinion. That's the one key thing. If you looked at his newsletter a couple of weeks ago and then he followed up on it last Saturday, that's really the key. We have folks that have done very, very well with Gunderson Capital Management as a result of just going about their lives and letting Bill stir the soup. You know, there's an old saying: when there's too many cooks in the kitchen, you end up with a mess in the kitchen. And Bill's a pretty doggone good cook, and so it's a good opportunity to just kind of leave him alone for months or years and go play golf or go see your grandkids or go on a cruise or enjoy your life and quit worrying about the doggone stock market if you can, and let somebody else worry about it. Let the guy who is the master chef in our financial kitchen worry about your individual portfolios and 401ks and IRAs and trading accounts. Let him worry about it, and you get about your life, and then check in with him from time to time. And say, hey, Bill, let's go get a burger or watch a ball game or go fishing together, and you worry about the stocks. And so that's really what he offers. Now, I'm sure that there are a ton of folks that subscribe to his newsletter that have one of these mega big box giant monster firms managing their account. Or maybe they do it themselves, or they have an uncle or a cousin or a best friend or somebody who's in the business, and so they manage it. Well, by getting the newsletter, it kind of gives you a little bit of a second opinion, a checkup, if you will, toward what's going on in their world. So let's suppose you have XYZ and Company managing your 401k or your IRA or your individual brokerage account. Why not get the newsletter? Why not subscribe to the Best Stocks Now newsletter, in which you can see what Bill has to say about the market? You can look at what has been put together in your portfolio, and measure it against those things that Bill sees fit for his best stocks now. So, if you want to subscribe to the newsletter, just go to GundersonCapital.com. If you go to GundersonCapital.com, one of the great big giant clicking buttons on the first page is going to be newsletter. And if you click on that, you can subscribe to it. And by tomorrow morning, you'll have this week's newsletter. That's how quick it works. Just give us your email address and the city from which you're calling or inquiring, and you'll get the newsletter in the inbox of your email account tomorrow morning. You know, it amazes me how folks will react so skittishly to the rest of the market and really become followers. You know, in the morning when my kids go off to school, I give them some advice. I say, and this this is advice that I tend to live by, at least as a father. And I tell them, I say, be a leader and not a follower, and remember who you are and keep all the rules, and life goes better. And they're reminded of those little nuggets of wisdom every single morning before they head off to school. And yet I see people act like sheep in a lot of situations. Very, very rarely do we have a wise shepherd in whatever area of life that you happen to be involved with. Very, very rarely do we have a shepherd that can shepherd the sheep. And Bill's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that can kind of bring the worried sheep together and save them from the financial wolves that are out there. And let's face it, there are a lot of wolves that would tend to not have the best interest of their clients in mind, whereas they may not be fiduciaries, they may not be 100% ethical folks. They're just interested in whatever commission or whatever fee or whatever financial gain they can have, and not necessarily their clients. And so those wolves tend to prey upon the sheep that are out there in the investment and financial world. And it's good to know that there are guys like Bill out there in the market who can scare the sheep, or who can scare the wolves away and take care of the sheep a little more effectively in the financial market. And so I would encourage you, as a guy who knows Bill personally outside of business, who knows his ethics and who knows of his heart, to listen to what he has scribbled down or typed down in his newsletter. Listen to what I call his financial scripture. Read what he has to say every day regarding the market. You can do that through his newsletter. Of course, many people listen to his radio show, but you can do that through his newsletter or his app, and you can get all those things through GundersonCapital.com. So go to GundersonCapital.com, click on the newsletter, subscribe to the newsletter, and you will soon be hearing wisdom from the shepherd. You'll be able to find out what solid advice comes from the mind of Bill Gunderson. Now there's other stuff that comes from the mind of Bill Gunderson, but I'll tell you, when it comes to financial advice, he's pretty doggone solid. When we get back, I think we're going to be joined by the young gun, Stephen Gunderson himself, and we'll talk more. This is Rob Sanford in for Bill Gunderson on the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour. Is your IRA being managed by a robot? Does a nameless, faceless computer program make automatic decisions about what to do with your hard-earned money? Perhaps your employer conveniently invested your retirement with a supercomputer mega big box warehouse brokerage firm, and now you're simply thought of as just another number in a vast sea of millions. This is Rob Sanford for Gunderson Capital Management, and I'm here to testify that Bill Gunderson is no robot. I've seen him. Bill is in the office every single day from bell to bell, personally and actively managing the accounts of every single client. He never leaves the helm or turns over the wheelhouse to some junior trainee or office deckhand. He's the skipper. His decisions are thorough, well thought out, researched, and conducted with great care. So give Gunderson Capital Management a call at 855-611-BEST. If you're driving right now and can't write it down, just search Bill Gunderson on the web when you get home. So say goodbye to the robot and shake hands with Bill Gunderson today.
What are the leading asset classes in the market right now? Stocks, bonds, cash, gold?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the leading indexes in the world currently? U.S., Europe, Japan, South America, emerging markets?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best sectors of the market now? Energy, technology, retail, financials, healthcare?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best stocks in the market now from a valuation, relative performance, and technical perspective? Exxon, Celgene, Apple, Delta, just to name a few.
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app database currently has over 4,000 stocks, indexes, exchange-traded funds, and mutual funds to choose from. What are the best ones now?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app was invented by Bill Gunderson and Douglas Sapperly. Bill Gunderson is the president of Gunderson Capital Management. In addition to the PC version, the Best Stocks Now app is also available on Apple and Android platforms.
BestStocksNowApp.com.
As world events test the nerves of the everyday investor, are you confident that your money manager will know what to do? Will he or she calmly pick up the phone and explain the way to prosper in times of turmoil? Or will they even pick up the phone at all? This is Rob Sanford for Gunderson Capital Management. It's nice to know that Bill is at the helm, steering around financial storms and maybe even profiting during a downturn. If you're constantly hearing the words, stay the course or asset allocation from your financial advisor, perhaps it's time to get in touch with Bill. The folks at Gunderson Capital Management will actually pick up the phone and speak with you personally. Bill will look at your current positions and rechart a course that just may keep you from going over the falls alongside your rookie tour guide. This is not the time to hitch your wagon to some junior planner who doesn't even know your name. There is almost always an answer. Search Bill Gunderson on the web or give him a call at 855-611-BEST.
There are a lot of investors out there in today's world that enjoy managing their own money. There's nothing wrong with this, but maybe you should manage a small portion of your overall portfolio and let a professional money manager manage your serious money. Just like you don't learn how to be an accomplished golfer by spending a few hours on the golf course or at the driving range on the weekends, it takes years of experience to even begin to understand how the financial markets work. And even then, it still takes hours and hours every day to stay on top of an ever-changing marketplace. There are numerous pitfalls that can stand in the way of the part-time investor. If a constant barrage of contradictory opinions keeps you from being able to make sound decisions, if you have a hard time keeping your emotions in check, or if you're continually selling at the bottom and buying at the top, then maybe it's time to consider a full-time professional money manager. Give the folks at Gunderson Capital Management a call and let Bill Gunderson manage your money. You can reach them at 855-611-BEST. That's 855-611-BEST or pwstreet.com.
And welcome back to the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson. This is Rob Sanford in for Bill as he gets ready for the weekend by typing up the newsletter, the Best Stocks Now newsletter that'll come to the inboxes of the faithful followers all over the world, thousands and thousands. And one of the faithful followers of Bill Gunderson is Bill Gunderson's son, Stephen Gunderson. And we have Stephen in the studio this morning. Welcome this morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Rob.
It now becomes the Sanford and Son of a Gun Radio Hour with with semi-professional money manager Stephen Gunderson. Are you still at the AAA level? And,
yeah, that's right. I'm waiting to get called up.
I'm waiting to get called up to the big leagues of Gunderson Capital. And I'm just the bat boy here. I'm the guy that cleans up the dugout after all you guys. And I'll tell you what, Stephen, the market has seen a really nice 6-week growth period over the last 6 weeks, kind of recovering from that gobbledygook in the early fall. And then the last couple of days, I think some people are taking some profits and getting ready for Thanksgiving. A couple of stocks that I was going to talk about here in this second quarter are Nordstrom and El Pollo Loco. Now, not to be negative on the market, but these are a couple that have fallen off the cliff in the last day or two, I think because of earnings reports and things like that. Do you ever shop at Nordstrom?
Not that often. My wife loved Nordstrom, though. She swears by that place.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nordstrom is the pinnacle of customer service in retail.
Oh, absolutely.
As far as I'm concerned. I mean, their people are knowledgeable. They're friendly. They are accommodating. You can take in the most used, beat up, worn out pair of shoes, handbag, shirt, or pair of jeans on earth, and Nordstrom will do what? What will they do?
They'll return it.
They'll return it. They'll take it back.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. I don't know how you function that way.
They will take anything back. If they sold it 5 years ago and you're not happy with it, I don't care if you have a receipt or not. Nordstrom is famous for taking it back. Now, why in the world would Nordstrom be down 15 points today? Why are they down 15%? What are your thoughts on that?
Gosh, they reported earnings this morning, right? Or last night?
Yes, they did, and they missed.
So they missed a little bit, and people start freaking out. I don't know why it's been happening more recently than it used to, that when someone misses earnings or makes earnings, the stock gets a lot more volatile the next day than I ever remember it being. I don't know if it's now because of the social media, everything's so instant phase of our time, but like it used to be when someone missed earnings, okay, it'd be down 2 or 3%, but now, with some stocks, they could go down 30% in one day.
Well, look at Nordstrom, 15% overnight. 15% overnight. That's crazy.
And that's obviously, anyone who owns it is waking up frustrated because they're like, well, it didn't even miss by that much, and here I am stuck with a stock that's down 15%. And their first reaction is, I got to sell it.
That's it.
Even though they've done their research, they love the stock, they love the company, they're just freaking out because, quite frankly, everyone else is freaking out. And it's usually not 100% called for to have this big sell-off, because think about it, a company reports 4 times a year.
Right.
I mean, that's a 90-day period every time. I mean, you got to look long-term with these investments. You can't be every 90 days selling a stock just because it missed earnings, or buying a stock because it hit earnings. You got to look at a 5-year picture here. And I know it's hard when one day it's down 15%, but gosh, yeah, that's just a tough pill to swallow when you wake up. I know.
And we see it regularly. We see it regularly in this business. And then what I was talking about in the last quarter is that people tend to be sheep. And when one sheep goes over the cliff, they all follow the other one, and they all go over the cliff. And it's like, folks, come on, be a little bit of a self-thinker here. And Nordstrom is no different today than it was yesterday. Still great products, still beautiful stores, still great customer service, great customer policies. No different yesterday than today, and yet people are running for the hills and screaming craziness over maybe missing earnings by a teeny tiny bit. It's crazy. It's just a crazy reactionary knee-jerk reaction to just gobbledygook, stuff that doesn't matter. It's just crazy. So it frustrates the heck out of me to watch how people react to little tiny. And I think you're right. I think the doggone immediacy of social media and what I like to call anti-social media, the immediacy of information causes people to just run around like crazy people in circles.
Well, totally, yeah. I mean, it's so instant. I mean, they report earnings. Seconds later, you find out that, I don't know, JP Morgan is selling their Nordstrom because they missed earnings. Well, then people see that on Twitter or on CNBC.com or anywhere on the news, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're selling it. I got to sell it too. I got to beat everyone else.
And it tumbles
So it's just this big chain reaction.
Right.
It's pretty crazy, and definitely wasn't this way, at least even when I started in this business, 6 years ago, it wasn't this way.
Right, and imagine when your dad began this business decades ago.
Oh, yeah.
When,
you wouldn't know until the next quarter that someone sold it.
Right, exactly. Exactly. You'd have no idea. Maybe somebody would send a letter,
Yeah.
You'd get it a few days later, or you'd read it in the Wall Street Journal 2 or 3 days later,
You check your monthly statement.
Exactly. And now, holy moly. And I'm looking at another stock that did almost exactly the same thing as Nordstrom and fell like that, and that's El Pollo Loco. El Pollo Loco is coast to coast. You go any city in America, and you can find an El Pollo Loco. And what is that? The crazy chicken? Is that what it is? Yeah, the crazy chicken. And
I didn't even know El Pollo Loco was a stock, to be honest with you, until this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would be a part of like a bigger brand, how like KFC and Taco Bell are part of Yum.
Yeah, and it rolled off 15% along with Nordstrom, and to tell you the truth, I think they got better food than Chipotle.
No.
Oh, come on
That's
now.
crazy
Are we gonna get into a battle about Mexican food? Freshly grilled chicken on the grill in there. I'll tell you what, El Pollo Loco is pretty doggone good.
It's not bad for drive-through.
Yeah. Well, come on now. It's pretty. You can go sit down in an El Pollo Loco.
Well, yeah, but it's also a drive-through.
Yeah, I
so
just
it's not
like
bad for a.
I don't like the bones in the chicken. Bones in the chicken are no good. When we've got the technology to take bones out of chicken, why not take the doggone bones out? Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
When we get back in the second half of the show, I got a couple other really cool things to talk about. Thankfully, I've got Steven with me. It's Rob Sanford and Steven Gunderson in for Bill on the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour. We'll be right back.
I've been on the right trail, but I must use the wrong car. Headed in a bad place, and I wonder what's good for. I've been in the right place.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew. In Washington, the Russian State Aviation Agency has banned Egypt's national carrier from flying to Russia now. It formally notified Moscow's airport today, where Egypt air flights normally arrive, that the ban is effective starting on Saturday. Of course, the recent Russian jetliner that went down in Egypt, now thought to have been brought down, at least by many countries, by a terrorist bomb. The investigation continues. Egypt's civil aviation minister says the final 7 seconds of the cockpit voice recording from that Russian jetliner will be sent to a country that has a capability to analyze it better than they do right there in Egypt. British Prime Minister David Cameron says intelligence agencies were working around the clock to find the British accented member of the Islamic State terrorist group known as Jihadi John. He is the one that it is now believed is dead after a U.S. drone strike yesterday in the town where he was at in Syria. More details at EzraNews.com.
Do you have a family member who's getting older and can no longer be safely left alone? With Visiting Angels, America's Choice in Senior Home Care, your parents and older family members can continue living at home and not have to move into a nursing home. Experienced, compassionate caregivers provide assistance in hygiene, meal preparation, and light housework up to 24 hours per day at affordable rates. To restore your family's peace of mind, call Visiting Angels toll-free today at 877-374-LIVE or at visitingangels.com.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had numerous credit cards, and I was struggling with paying them off, so I made the call.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
The people at Trinity are very friendly. They will do whatever you need them to do in order for you to feel better about being in a very difficult place.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
With SRN Sports, I'm Patrick Foss. The Buffalo Bills helped Rex Ryan make a triumphant return to the Meadowlands last night. Fired by the Jets after 6 seasons and immediately hired by Buffalo last January, Ryan's Bills had 2 interceptions and a recovered fumble in a 22-17 victory over New York. Bills running back LaShawn McCoy with 112 yards rushing says while it's important for their head coach to beat his old team, this is also an important win for the club.
It's a big game for just us as the Buffalo Bills. I mean, a division game that we had to win, a must-win type of game, So when you really look at the grand scheme of things, this is a big win for us.
Both teams are 5-4. The NBA, Golden State remain unbeaten with a 129-116 win over Minnesota. Stephen Curry had 46 points to see his club go 10-0, the best start in franchise history.
I mean, anytime you can do something that hasn't been done in franchise history is huge, so it doesn't mean anything. And obviously, we haven't won the championship or anything off of that, but definitely always a good start to the season.
This is SRN Sports. Phoenix beat the LA Clippers 118-104 after starting the season 4-0. The Clippers have dropped 4 of 5. Miami down Utah 92-91. In the NHL, it was New Jersey 3-2 over Chicago. Devils coach John Hines says he's impressed with Sergei Kalinin, who scored the game-winning goal.
The game winner was great. We have now on the net front on the power play, which he earned, and then you see his game continue to progress and mature.
The New York Rangers beat visiting St. Louis 6-3. Blues right wing Troy Brouwer says climbing back from the early 3-0 deficit was too tough.
Not something we really want to do, but they're a team that always comes out hard. I know this from playing against them a lot, and especially in their home rink. They got off to a good start. We gave them too many opportunities, and they made the best of it.
Colorado beat Boston 3-2. It was Minnesota 3-2 over Carolina in overtime. Washington 5, Philadelphia 2, Buffalo 3, Florida 2, Tampa Bay 3-1 over Calgary, Ottawa 3, Vancouver 2. Toronto in a shootout over Nashville 2-1, Dallas 6, Winnipeg 3, Arizona 4, Edmonton 1, Los Angeles 2-1 over the Islanders. With SRN Sports, I'm Patrick Foss.
Give yourself the investment of a lifetime. Enjoy this holiday season in a luxury estate home at Charleston Estates, the only new home neighborhood in prestigious South Redlands and smartly priced from the mid-800,000s. Charleston Estates features gourmet kitchens and California rooms that make holiday entertaining even more memorable. Homes reach 4,463 square feet with up to 5 bedrooms. Ask about our discounted HOA dues and move-in incentives, too. Visit MaliaHomes.com for details. That's MaliaHomes.com.
Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company has been serving the greater Inland Empire for over 60 years. For all of your printing needs, from full-color printing to high-speed copying and everything in between, go to Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company. Their staff is committed to your total satisfaction. Great service isn't just lip service at Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company. It's the way they do business year after year. Having trouble finding drafting supplies? Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company still carries a complete selection. Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company is rated high in customer satisfaction by Value Star, an independent rating company. For all of your personal or business printing, call Redlands Blueprint and Commercial Printing Company at 909-792-3478. That's 792-3478, or visit them on New York Street in Redlands off the I-10 and the Crosstown Freeway.
Here's all you need to know. There's a new cool way to sell your unwanted stuff online. It's buysellmakeoffer.com. buysellmakeoffer.com. You're not going to believe it. Join the legions of web sellers and buyers who are turning to buysellmakeoffer.com today. Never pay fees again. For low monthly membership of $7.95, you can sell up to 50 items, and there's a 60-day free trial membership to get you started. You can even produce your own infomercial to sell your products and upload the video for the world to see. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com.
But we're going to give away a 90-day, a 3-month subscription to the newsletter to anyone who would like to, well, not to anyone. I'll tell you what. If we use your question on the air, we will give you a 90-day subscription to the newsletter. And there's 2 ways you can do it. Number 1, you can text us at 619-995-2628. Again, 619-995, and that spells boat, 619-995-2628. You can text us if you have a smartphone or happen to know how to text on one of those silly flip phones. Or
that goes directly to Rob's personal cell phone. So if you just want to say hi to him in the middle of the night.
Yeah, middle of the night, in a different market, whenever this is playing, go ahead.
Feel free to give
me
him a call.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. And here is Stephen's personal email address. You can email right. Stephen, S-T-E-P-H-E-N, Stephen with a P-H, at GundersonCapital.com. Stephen at GundersonCapital.com. And if you have a question that you don't want to blow up my phone with, you can send it to Rob at GundersonCapital.com. But right now on the air, if you want to ask a question, send it to Stephen at GundersonCapital.com or text us at 619-995-2628. And if we use your question on the air, either this week or we'll even hand it off to Bill next week, we'll give you a 90-day subscription to the newsletter free. That's a pretty doggone good deal. I think.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's a $60 value right there.
Now, who's paying for it? Are you paying for it?
Well, this was your idea, so.
It's my idea. I got to get my credit card out. Hey, what do you think of the runny-nosed babies that are protesting at colleges all over the country, Stephen? Give me your opinion on that.
Oh, great. Getting into this, huh?
Come on now. I got to hear how you think that these folks are going to grow up and be solid citizens and investors and financial contributors to the market when they can't even get through school without wanting free stuff.
Well, you know what? I want a free house on the beach, and I want the government to pay for it.
Isn't it amazing?
Why should I have to, risk my own money to buy a house on the beach? No way. Give it to me, please.
It's really amazing to me. This is the generation that has been raised by entitlements.
Don't let me into that. Come on.
You're a notch past it. You're not in college age anymore. I'm talking about 18, 19, 20-year-olds that think everything should be given to them. How about these folks that are saying we want all student debt forgiven? Everything. We want free college. We want 40 acres and a mule. We want a log cabin in the mountains, and give us, by the way, a new Range Rover SUV to go with it. It's the everybody gets a trophy mentality.
It's hard to understand. I personally cannot understand why they would think this way. It just doesn't make sense, right? I mean,
the entitlement generation.
If you have debt, I don't know. Why do you expect someone else to pick up your tab? I don't get that. I don't get that mentality.
It's laziness. It's watching their parents. It's watching the government. It's watching many programs, social programs, hand out stuff for free for way too long, and they think that everything should be free. Boy, I'll tell you what, if they could go back just 50 years, let alone 70 or 80 back into the World War II generation and see how hard their grandparents and great-grandparents worked to provide for them the country that we have today, I don't even know if they'd be ashamed, but they would certainly be enlightened. They would be enlightened as to what it takes to build a country. And you can't do it free. You can't do it on entitlements. You can't do it on taxing folks who have worked their entire lives and taking all of their money to pay for the snot-nosed, bratty little kids that think that everything should be free. It drives me stinking crazy nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a picture on Instagram that was like, I don't know, a top post. It was trending. I don't know if you know what that means.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
there was a picture of a group of people protesting at a school, and one of them was wearing a shirt, and all it said was "Tax the rich." As if that's going to solve every problem in America. I mean, sure, that would be great if that solved every problem in America, but it's just not going to. And it's like these kids don't realize how much money we actually have in debt as a country. Like, we can't just keep printing money. It's going to be fake money pretty soon if it's not already, right?
And what is the rich? People who make over $250,000 a year, or the 1%ers.
No, those kids think the rich are people who make over couple $1 million a year, which it's not technically. It is anyone who makes over even 100,000. You're considered rich.
Let's think about this for a second. Let's suppose that we just tax the heck out of, and they're already paying up to 50% in many instances once you get done with state and local taxes, and when you get finished with all of the all of the deductions and things that have to go apart or be a part of running and owning a business. But those folks are contributing to the economy. Like, let's just say we tax somebody's business completely out from under them to where they're just wearing nothing but newspaper and sitting on the street naked. They have nothing left. Well, where do all the products and all the jobs and all the productivity and all of the things that they make and the contribution to society that these big corporations make, What happens then when all those jobs go away, when all of the all of the productivity, when they get out of their free college and they don't have any college debt, where are they going to work? Are they going to work for the government?
No, they're going to work for a minimum wage job that now pays $15 an hour.
Oh, yeah. Don't even get me started on that. Oh, my goodness.
Well, it's not only that
pressure.
plan of taxing the rich, but then it's, well, you got to trust the government to spend the money correctly.
And that's
the hardest part.
That's it. And you know what? This is what drives me nuts. The federal government wants to create a nanny society. Why? So that they're dependent on the government, so that they have to go to work for the government, so that they can control the vote and stay in power. Drives me crazy. And I know we're not supposed to get political. However, it affects business. It affects business like nothing else. I'm telling you, when we look at our stock market, when we look at our individual 401ks and our IRAs and our investments and our businesses and how hard we work, nothing affects it worse than a corrupt government and a nanny society from kids who want stuff for free and have no responsibility whatsoever. Makes me crazy. Man, I'm fired up.
Yeah, you got to take it down a notch there.
Okay.
You know what?
Right, let's talk about chicken.
Well, no, I was watching the other day. My wife watches the Ellen DeGeneres show. And I will say, I do enjoy that show. She's really funny, and it's a great show. And she was interviewing Bernie Sanders like a month ago.
Okay.
And she flat out asked him, look, I'm paying 50% in taxes. Are you telling me you want me to pay more than 50%? And I waited for a good answer to that, and he didn't have one. He avoided the question completely. And I thought it was I know Ellen probably agrees mostly with, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. But at the same time, she's trying to be a reporter. I don't know, journalist. Maybe she's not. But that was a good question, I thought.
Sure,
look, hey, I'm getting killed over here.
I'm surprised that she would even ask it.
Yeah, me too. And I was intrigued, and I didn't hear a solid answer at all. It was just like, oh, well, we just got to, give people things and it'll make everyone happier.
Well, how do you pay for it?
I don't get it.
It oh, my goodness, makes me crazy. And, you think about all of the perceived social injustices, all of the imagined social injustices. Well, get out there, doggone it, work hard, earn a living, make some money, invest in the market, be productive, become part of the productive portion of society, and change the world that way. Become a productive citizen instead of a gimme person. I'm going to have a heart attack this morning. I'll tell you what, when we get back, I got one other thing to talk about, and then we'll take it down a notch. This is Rob Sanford and Stephen Gunderson in for Bill on the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour. We'll be right back. Is your IRA being managed by a robot? Does a nameless, faceless computer program make automatic decisions about what to do with your hard-earned money? Perhaps your employer conveniently invested your retirement with a supercomputer mega big box warehouse brokerage firm, and now you're simply thought of as just another number in a vast sea of millions. This is Rob Sanford for Gunderson Capital Management, and I'm here to testify that Bill Gunderson is no robot. I've seen him. Bill is in the office every single day from bell to bell, personally and actively managing the accounts of every single client. He never leaves the helm or turns over the wheelhouse to some junior trainee or office deckhand. He's the skipper. His decisions are thorough, well thought out, researched, and conducted with great care. So give Gunderson Capital Management a call at 855-611-BEST. If you're driving right now and can't write it down, just search Bill Gunderson on the web when you get home. So say goodbye to the robot and shake hands with Bill Gunderson today.
What are the leading asset classes in the market right now? Stocks, bonds, cash, gold?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the leading indexes in the world currently? U.S., Europe, Japan, South America, emerging markets?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best sectors of the market now? Energy, technology, retail, financials, healthcare?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best stocks in the market now from a valuation, relative performance, and technical perspective? Exxon, Celgene, Apple, Delta, just to name a few.
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app database currently has over 4,000 stocks, indexes, exchange-traded funds, and mutual funds to choose from. What are the best ones now?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app was invented by Bill Gunderson and Douglas Sapperly. Bill Gunderson is the president of Gunderson Capital Management. In addition to the PC version, the Best Stocks Now app is also available on Apple and Android platforms.
BestStocksNowApp.com.
In Farm and Ranch headlines, how will producers adjust to this low-price situation? Gary Crawford reports after this.
Tell weeds where to go with Chateau herbicide from Valent USA Corporation. Growers and PCAs count on Chateau because it's effective on more than 90 of the toughest winter annual broadleaf and grass weeds in crops like almonds, pistachios, walnuts, grapes, and alfalfa. Chateau delivers proven long-lasting residual control, and Chateau can be used on new plantings and young non-bearing trees and vines. Even better, Chateau is weather-ready and farm-ready. Chateau stays where you put it and doesn't photodegrade as it waits for moisture activation. Other pre-emergence herbicides can leach, co-distillate, and or photodegrade, reducing performance. And Chateau is activated with only a quarter inch of rainfall or irrigation water. Take control and keep control of weeds with Chateau herbicide. To learn more, talk to your PCA or go to valent.com/Chateau. And while you're there, find out how C's Insect Growth Regulator tells San Jose Scale where to go to. Always read and follow label instructions.
The latest Agriculture Department supply and demand forecast has farmers this marketing year seeing prices drop from this past season's already low prices for wheat, corn, and soybeans.
They may be coming down so far, in some cases, that farmers aren't meeting their cost of production.
Agriculture Department Chief Economist Rob Johansson, he says that's not a given for all farmers, but a definite possibility for some, and farmers, of course, will try to adjust.
Producers start digging into their capital reserves, and they also see a reflection in the negotiated land rent values.
And also,
we would expect to see an increase in loan activity occurring in the banking sector.
He says that's already happening also at planting time.
We would expect that some acres, marginal production acres, low yield acres, high cost of production acres would likely exit from production if prices remain too low to cover production costs on those acres.
That was Gary Crawford reporting. I'm Sabrina Hill for AgNetWest.com.
In the mood for some great Chinese food? Well, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is where you need to be. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food not only has a delicious dinner menu, they also offer delicious lunch specials including their yummy fried rice and chow mein. But get this, it also includes any two items just for $5.85. Or you can get any one item for only $4.85. You should also try their Big Bowl special for just $4.10. The service is fast and friendly. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is located at 256 Carousel Mall in San Bernardino, California. To contact Mr. Yu's Chinese Food, call 909-383-0195. Again, that's 909-383-0195. And yes, the Carousel Mall is still open.
That's right! You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Welcome back to the Best Stocks Now radio hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson. This is Rob Sanford in for Bill as he works on the newsletter along with Stephen Gunderson. So you now have the Son of a Gunderson radio hour, the Sanford and Son radio hour here on the Best Stocks Now radio program from coast to coast. I'm glad Ken out there in Texas played that nice, smooth bumper music coming back.
I was going to say, yeah.
Calm
me down a little bit.
Bring the blood pressure down just a little bit so we can calm down and talk about the financial markets here in this last quarter. I've received a couple of texts, but more just saying, hey, good job. We believe in what you're saying. So I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear that some folks, at least in this audience, I tend to believe that the folks that listen to Bill, that listen to your dad, they probably are hardworking, conservative, traditional Americans that believe in American values and hard work ethic. I tend to believe that that's most of our audience from coast to coast. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but you probably just offended like 3 people.
Well, 3 out of 3 million, that's not too bad. But, it's funny because the 3 are who we're going to hear from. We never hear from the 3 million who say, man, appreciate the message.
Well, I hope we do hear from them.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you think like we think, if you'd like to get on board and be a productive member of society and really believe in traditional American values and hard work and work ethic and honor and uprightedness, I think it's a good opportunity for you to hitch your wagon to Bill and listen to what he has to say with regard to the financial markets from coast to coast and all over the world. And Stephen, tell the folks how they can learn all things Gunderson. Aside from being his son and growing up with him, tell everyone how they can have a daily and weekly contact with the master himself. How do they do it?
Well, we have our weekly newsletter that goes out every Saturday afternoon-ish.
Sometimes morning.
Sometimes morning, yeah, if he gets working on it Thursday night, but I don't know if he did last night. So anyways, yeah, you can sign up for our newsletter online at gundersoncapital.com. You can also download our app, which is the Best Stocks Now app, in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store.
Now, we haven't talked about the app at all during the show, so tell folks what the app is and how it differs from the newsletter.
So the app is, we don't really send out much contact through the regular app that we have. It's more just for following stocks that you own or stocks that you follow and what grades they get, and that updates daily. You can see if they have a good value grade, if they have a good performance grade, all that good stuff. We also have a premium version of that, which is, it's a little pricey. It's $89.99 per month, but you get Bill's live trading push notifications.
So as he sits here in the Mad Laboratory trading, buying, selling, folks that have that premium edition can actually see what he does in real time.
Exactly. And
every day
they
in the
get it
stock
at their
market.
phone, and in case they're not by their phone or they missed the push notification or whatever, it also goes to your email. So you got 2 ways to check it.
Okay, so they can get the newsletter for the weekly updates and the weekly kind of what I call Bill's financial scripture, and then the daily information they can get on the app. And that app is free unless you want the premium edition, correct? Now, how do they get the app?
So they just go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, search Best Stocks Now, and you can install it for free.
Okay. All right. Now, if they don't have a smartphone, they can also get all of those stock rankings and all of the information that Bill puts out and ranks his stocks A, B, C, D, etc. They can get those how? If they just have a computer, is what I'm trying to get to.
We also have a web version, and the address is beststocksnowapp.com.
Okay, so that would be end around. If they don't have a smartphone, they can just go on their computer and go to beststocksnowapp.com. Shoot, if you don't even have a computer, go down to a public library or a place that rents computers, like a UPS store or someplace like that, and you could follow that information on a daily basis at beststocksnowapp.com. And then lastly, folks would like to listen to the radio broadcast, and maybe they're not driving at that particular time, or maybe they are working, or they can't catch the show live in their particular market. How do folks listen to the radio show without listening to it live on the air?
So on our website, gundersoncapital.com, we have a tab called Radio Show Archives.
Okay.
And we archive every show we've ever done, I think. I mean, it goes back pretty far.
Goes back a long way.
And we also have videos of each segment if you're interested in watching the videos. And we also have the whole hour-long, just audio-only version up there. So
now, we've got a guy named Ed. He's Super Ed here, and Ed magically puts these archives, these show archives, up on the website. Usually 30 or 40 minutes, certainly within a couple of hours after the most recent show airs. So by 9 or 10 o'clock Pacific time, you could go on and I don't know why you'd want to, but you could go listen to this show again. You could hear us twice in one day, or if you want to hear what Bill said yesterday or the day before, if you would like to catch it later this evening as you're drifting off to La La Land, you can listen to the Bill Gunderson Best Stocks Now radio hour and hear the latest of what he has to say on a daily basis. So really, there's three ways. You've got the newsletter, which you get weekly. You've got the app, which you can check in with anytime you want to, hourly, minute by minute, or however you want to do that. And then you've got the daily radio show that you can listen to anytime you want to at GundersonCapital.com. That's a pretty doggone thorough way.
There is one more way, actually.
Oh, no, there's not another way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Bill is also very active on Twitter and StockTwits.
Oh, yes. Yes, he is. You know, and
yeah,
this is kind of like the guessing game. I thought of another way, but tell us about Twitter and StockTwits.
All right, so his username is just Bill Gunderson, and he tweets all sorts of stuff throughout the day.
Yes, he does.
He'll tweet about just charts he's going through that look good, and what he's angry about or happy about.
Perfect. And finally, if you want to talk to us in person, you can call us at 855-611-BEST. That's 855-611-BEST. You're listening to Rob Sanford and Stephen Gunderson in for Bill Gunderson. It's been the Best Stocks Now radio hour. Hopefully, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening, everyone.
This show is not a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Bill Gunderson or clients of Gunderson Capital Management may have long or short positions in stocks mentioned during the show. Gunderson Capital Management is a fee-based registered investment advisor. All accounts are held at Scottrade. Scottrade is a member of SIPC and FINRA.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. It's Friday the 13th and not a lucky day for the markets. Stocks are in the red on weaker than expected retail sales results for October and forecast cuts by department store chains like Nordstrom, Walmart, and Macy's. The Dow's down 151 points, the Nasdaq lower by 55. Shares of Cisco are down sharply. The network equipment maker gave a weak outlook because of slowing orders and weak spending outside of the U.S. Fossil is also down after the watchmaker said sales in the current quarter could fall by as much as 16%. Syngenta's stock is rising on a report China National Chemical Corp is offering $42 billion to take over the Swiss pesticides maker. And producer prices fell in October for a second straight month, indicating inflation is tame. Once again, stocks are lower. I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
At TIAA Cref, our record sounds like a broken record. We got impressive results in 2013. And 2014, same thing. We're like, hey, weren't we just here? Then 2015, boom, more impressive results. That's the kind of record you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Intelligent investing, powerful results. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA Cref Individual and Institutional Services, LLC. Investing involves risk.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
With your Friday news, I'm Jim Miller, CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind. Here's your news today. Funeral services took place yesterday for fallen San Bernardino police officer Bryce Haynes. Private services began at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Redlands, where Haynes' brother, Scott Haynes, gave a eulogy recalling his brother as a big protector and the gentle giant. The 39-year-old Bryce Haynes of Redlands killed on duty in a DUI-related traffic collision that took place November 5th in Ontario. Parents of a developmentally disabled Ontario man beaten to death by his cellmate at the West Valley Detention Center in Rancho Cucamonga have filed a wrongful death lawsuit against San Bernardino County and the captain of the jail. The lawsuit filed Wednesday on behalf of their 19-year-old son, Rashad Davis Jr., names as defendants the county and West Valley Commander Captain Jeff Rose. It alleges staff of the jail failed to protect Rashad Davis Jr. from repeated attacks by inmates and house him at a proper unit conducive to his medical needs. And San Bernardino County Human Resources Director Andrew Lamberto, who came under sharp scrutiny after it was revealed last month he was convicted for soliciting a prostitute, has resigned. The announcement it followed a closed session meeting of the Board of Supervisors yesterday. And that's your news. Have a great Friday. I'm Jim Miller for CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Give yourself the investment of a lifetime. Enjoy this holiday season in a luxury estate home at Charleston Estates, the only new home neighborhood in prestigious South Redlands and smartly priced from the mid-800,000s. Charleston Estates features gourmet kitchens and California rooms that make holiday entertaining even more memorable. Homes reach 4,463 square feet with up to 5 bedrooms. Ask about our discounted HOA dues and move-in incentives, too. Visit MaliaHomes.com for details. That's MaliaHomes.com.
This is KCAA.
Welcome and listening to a radio station where
it's controlled chaos. Top of the IE and the world on 1050 AM KCAA. NBC News Talk Radio.
Yeah. It's finally Friday. Yeah. Thank God. Control Chaos, KCAA, 1050 AM in the Inland Empire. Also 106.5 FM. In the Inland Empire, W4CY.com, K4HD.com. We're on iHeartRadio. Yes, I am on iHeartRadio.
That's
Gary
so
Garber.
cool.
That is cool, isn't it? Along here with comedian Perry Kurtz.
Yeah.
How are you, Perry? Hi. Good morning.
Good morning, honey.
Are you ready for this weekend, baby?
Let's kick it up.
Come on, bend over.
Oh, stop. That's an ugly image even for me.
It is. I don't want to even think about that.
Oh, God.
Anyways, man, are you getting ready for this weekend or what? What are you doing? You got anything going on?
I got a senior show later this afternoon.
Okay, cool. Where at?
Down in Riverside.
Riverside. Where at? At
Wellbrook.
Wellbrook in Riverside?
Yes.
So if you're not a senior, can you come by? If somebody wants to see Perry Kurtz,
do his comedy. Can people just
Yeah,
stop
they can
by?
stop in. And
No charge, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
They're going to stand out because they're going to be younger.
Well, that's okay. I mean, they want to check out your comedy, so you'll be in Riverside today.
Yep. And then I'm going to pick up my daughter from school and take her out and buy her some clothes for her birthday. She turned 11 on Sunday.
Oh, happy birthday, Bella.
So proud of my
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
She
That's fantastic.
played a little football with some kids in the playground.
Yeah?
And she almost caught the football twice, but she touched it. She didn't grab it. She didn't pull it down, but she made contact with it.
Well, that's cool.
And then she threw it, and it spiraled. And I
Wow.
was so proud of her.
That's great, man. How old is she now?
She's 11.
Congratulations, Perry. That's cool. Well, listen, I'm going to have you are blessed. I'm going to go out and
You
have
probably have dozens of kids.
I do
floating
not.
around.
I do not. No, I don't. Man.
Yeah, because you're a stud, you know?
You know what? I was always cautious.
Really?
Yes, well, most of the time.
I'm wearing a condom right now.
I always wear a condom. Listen.
It's neat because when you walk, it slides up and down, and it feels like you're not alone.
Oh, please. I'm going out to see. I'm actually going to have a dinner tonight at Juliet Edelweiss in Thousand Oaks. It's a German restaurant. There's not too many German restaurants actually here in Los Angeles.
Didn't they bring food in last year?
Chef Kurt. Yeah, remember Chef Kurt brought a big thing in?
That was delicious.
Yeah, it was. I gave you one of those,
yeah,
right?
It was great.
Yeah, it was a pastry, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, so anyways, he invited me to go have dinner, and he invited like 4 or 5 of my friends down there. I invited you, but you're going to be out with your daughter and out in Riverside playing for all those senior folks. But, yeah, I'm going to go out there tonight at Juliet Edelweiss, German restaurant. If you don't know where, if you're out there in Thousand Oaks area or whatever, if you want to stop by. Say hello, whatever. I can't buy you. I mean, I already have my friends going, so I can't really give you a free meal.
Right.
But anyways, I'll be doing that.
It's pre-booked.
Yeah. You know what I'd like to do is maybe invite Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, get her out there because she's always lonely.
This is crazy. Come on, Jennifer. I love Jennifer Lawrence. I can't wait to see the Hunger Games is coming out next week. Are you a Hunger Games fan at all?
Never seen even
You've
one.
never seen it, dude?
No.
Oh, man, you got to go see it. You got to see the first one because the first one sets up the rest of them.
Right.
But it's a great movie. It's a great story. You know what I mean? And do you know anything about it by any chance? No. It's basically what happens is it's in the, I guess you can't even tell if it's the future or the past really. But I guess they have a revolution and the government of course wins and kicks ass over the people, and then basically the government suppresses the people, and they have these districts. I think it goes up from 1 till 12 or 13 districts. And I guess every couple of years, or I don't know if it's every year or every couple of years, I never got the gist of it. They have these games called Hunger Games where they take 1 or 2 kids from each district, right? And they put them against each other, and there's only one standing. They got to kill each other, right? They put them in some sort of like jungle or whatever,
right.
And there's like 2 kids from each district, and then they give them weapons and stuff like that, and they have to kill each other, and there's one left standing. So it's really a bizarre thing, and everybody's suppressed. And this one, I guess this new one is where basically Jennifer Lawrence is the main chick who's like bow and arrow chick. She fight, she's a great fighter, all that,
right.
and she whips ass on everybody, and she's sort of the leader of the revolution. You know what I mean? The face
Sounds
of the revolution.
Very funny.
It's not funny. It's a really good movie. I mean, it's great movies. I can't wait to see it.
They're extremely popular.
They are. They're great. I really dig them. But anyways, I love Jennifer Lawrence. I just love her. She
probably likes you.
I don't know. I don't think she even knows who the hell I am.
Oh,
but
of course she does. Everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, I'm sure Jennifer Lawrence knows who I am. But anyways,
my mother knows who you are.
Oh, I'm glad to know that. Maybe your mother want to come dinner with me tonight.
Yeah.
Juliet Edelweiss. But
how's Gary doing?
She did Jennifer Lawrence did an article in Vogue, and she states, "I am lonely every Saturday night."
Why just Saturday night?
I don't know.
Is that the only night?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, but I think she's trying to make the point that she doesn't date a lot. So this is what she's saying in December's Vogue cover story. Lawrence opens up about being single, admitting that while she gets why guys don't approach her, she ultimately wants to get married and settle down. No one ever asked me out, says the 25-year-old Oscar winner. I am lonely every Saturday night. Oh, come on, really? There's not any. I mean, why isn't she approachable? I don't get it. What people are intimidated by her? Guys are intimidated by her?
I'm calling her right now.
I mean, I wouldn't be intimidated. She's such a sweet girl.
So her number's 818.
850-7784. Give us a call, Jennifer, if you're listening. Where she feels regularly rejected. Guys are so mean to me, she says.
Mean to her?
Guys are mean to her. Why? Why would a guy be mean to her? I don't. What's wrong with you guys?
She's
Seriously.
top of the line. They're not gonna be mean. You're not mean to somebody that you want. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, why are you mean? Because you're jealous of her? I mean, the only reason you're mean to somebody is because you're jealous of them. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Or
I
you
mean,
just don't like him.
Or
and
they're
she's never done anything wrong.
By the way, these guys feel that she's out of their league. You know what I mean?
They're going to look at her as unapproachable.
Right. That's what she's saying. She says she's unapproachable. I hope to God one day I'd meet her, because I know she ain't going to go out with me, but I'm going to ask her out.
I'm that way. I'll find the tallest, most attractive looking woman in the place and walk up and go, "Hey, how you doing?" And they'll go, "Yeah." I'll go, "Let me know when you're ready to leave."
You don't even offer him a drink or anything?
No. I just hit him right and I walk away.
You should at least offer him something to drink, Perry. Hey, well, can I buy you a cocktail or something? You know, something like that. What are you drinking? Can I buy you a drink? That's the easiest.
I make him laugh. It works better for me.
All right, sure. I don't know. She feels regularly rejected. Guys are so mean to me, she says. I know where it's coming from. I know they're trying to establish dominance, but it hurts my feelings. I'm just a girl who wants you to be nice to me. I am straight as an arrow. She goes, I feel like I need to meet a guy, with all due respect, who has been living in Baghdad for 5 years, who has no idea who I am.
Oh, yeah, those guys from Baghdad. They know how to treat a woman.
I'm going to. I am dating Jennifer Lawrence. Who is Jennifer Lawrence? I'm going to date her.
Cover your ankles.
Yes, cover you. You must wear a bushka. I'm dating you.
Burqa.
A burqa. Is that a bushka? What the hell's a bushka?
A babushka. That's when they wrap their head.
Well, that's what I mean. A bushka, burqa, some wrap your face. Anyways, Jennifer Lawrence is lonely, guys, on Saturday nights. I mean, I don't understand that.
Guys, get out there. If you see her, go right up there and say, "Hi, baby. I don't want you to be lonely. What are you doing Saturday night?"
She goes, I feel like if I find that one person who I want to spend the rest of my life with, who I want to be the father of my children, that I will probably absolutely not F it up. But I'm also not banking on that either. But I mean, seriously, if I was able to meet Jennifer Lawrence, I mean, please, guys, first of all, don't be mean to her.
See,
She's
that's
a
why
sweetheart.
I carry the picture of my daughter.
I love her.
I show the picture of my daughter and go, "I made this," and they go, "Really?"
Dude, you know what? You going with your girl is like, having a daughter or son at your age. I mean, that's a chick magnet, isn't it?
The best wingman ever.
It's like a dog, though. You know what I mean?
We were talking about that. She says she knows that she's my wingman.
Absolutely, for sure. I mean, and like dogs too. Dogs, go to these dog parks. Oh, what a cute little dog.
Right.
Women do that all the time. I mean, maybe I need to get a dog, for Christ's sake. I don't know.
Borrow a little girl from somebody. They're much better.
Borrow a little girl.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to find one, Perry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyways, it is Controlled Chaos for Friday. Maybe I'll adopt one.
I could just see you putting an ad in Craigslist. Need to borrow a young girl so I can pick up chicks.
Looking to adopt a young teenage girl so I can pick up older chicks.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to attract the police.
All right, I know. That's crazy. All right, we'll be back. Really, that's sick, isn't it? Oh, my God, what am I saying?
NBC Talk Radio, 1050 AM.
Hi, I'm John Elway. Did you know that John Elway's Crown Toyota is the largest volume Toyota dealer in the Inland Empire? Here to give you the details is the General Sales Manager, Kara Brindley.
Well, at John Elway's Crown Toyota, we listen to you. And ever since we've changed to our new process, we post our one price, which is our best price, up front on every single vehicle. Now, customers are telling me they look forward to buying their next car from us.
So come visit John Elway's Crown Toyota today in the Giant Ontario Auto Center, where the 10 and 15 meet.
One price, simple, no games.
Are you feeling tired, depressed, unable to lose weight, and your skin is lacking that beautiful glow? Have you been to a ton of doctors that can't seem to solve your issue? Look no further than Nina MD. Nina MD Beverly Hills can be found at ninamd.com or by calling 310-777-7511. Dr. Nina comes with over 20 years' experience of diagnosing and treating patients who have not had success in the past. At Nina MD Beverly Hills, our passion is to make you feel healthy and look beautiful from the inside out. We provide personalized treatments that are very innovative, cutting edge, effective, and safe. You can watch Nina MD on Time Warner LA 36 to learn about the latest and greatest procedures available. Start feeling your best today. Visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511 to schedule your appointment today.
As the markets continue higher and experts continue to call for a correction,